Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Things my ex-boyfriend did and I still stayed. On my birthday, we got into a fight, so he threw my present into oncoming traffic. He made me sleep on FaceTime with him every single night because he thought I would just text boys all night. One time when we were hanging out, I caught him cheating and he ran upstairs, locked himself in his mom's room and was saying he was gonna off himself. I invited him camping one time with my family and he woke me up in the middle of the night and he was threatening to go wander around in the woods. And it was like 3 a.m. So I had to beg him all night to stay awake all night to make sure he didn't leave. He would go through like my texts with my family. Like no one else, but always like my mom and my dad and my sister. One time we went mini golfing and I wasn't taking the game serious enough, and so he stormed off and left. And I still don't know where he went to this day. Whenever I would post like a selfie on my story, he would remake the same selfie and pose and post it on his story mocking me. Whenever we would get into a fight, he would turn his location on and go to his ex's house. This one girl had texted him and said, if you bring me a Diet Coke, I'll give you a kiss. So he did. And I'm pretty sure I was at his house. And then after, I found out about it the next day from all his friends, and he tried to gaslight me and tell me that we weren't exclusive. One time, we got into a fight in physics class, so he broke up with me during that class. He would mock my family members or make fun of them and like talk crap on them to me. I could make like 4 more of these, but here is the makeup for today. Love you all.
Things my ex did to me and I still stayed. This could be about one ex or multiple. You take your pick. Let's just get right into it. Tried to choke me in a corner while drunk, and no, not in a fun way. Really shouldn't be laughing because it's not funny, but like at this point, it's how I cope. Number 2, wrote a girl's phone number in his notes app while he was out at a bar. And yes, I did find this in his notes the next day. Figured out what area code that girl's phone number was and figured out who the girl was. Forced me to buy a gym membership because he would tell me that I'm fat. And here's the bonus to this one. He would force me to go with him multiple times a week. Not to mention, this gym membership was not cheap. I did not want to be spending my money on it. He would force me to send him pictures of every single thing that I ate to make sure that I wasn't eating too much. And if I was, he would make me go to the gym that day if I hadn't. Oh my gosh. Would constantly tell his roommates that he wants to hook up with his math teacher, like the assistant one. And typically the assistant teachers were like our age, so that just made it so weird. I mean, regardless, it's weird, but yeah, I would have to know that every single time he would go to that class every week that he would be thinking about hooking up with her. So awesome. But shout out to his roommates for letting me know this. That's how I found out a lot of this, so this makes it even funnier. Next one might be the best one. He invited a girl over while I was already in his bed sleeping for the night. Like fully, I was already asleep for the whole entire night. We were sleeping at his house and he invited a girl over and they hung out downstairs like 1 floor below where I was sleeping. And not only did he invite one girl, he invited their whole friend group. He was hanging out with the whole friend group. This was a girl he used to talk to as well. Thought I'd mention that. Yup, just sound asleep in my boyfriend's bed and there he was 1 floor below inviting girls over that he used to talk to. Awesome. And I did find this out through his text messages on his phone when the girl literally said, almost there. And I got confirmation from the roommates. So again, shout out to the roommates. He would FaceTime girls behind my back and then delete it off of his phone, but then I'd find it on his computer the next morning. Again, these are girls that he did used to talk to, so that makes it even better, right? If we ever were having an argument in the car, he would force me to get out of the car and then literally leave me there, even if it was in the middle of nowhere and I had no way to get back. Sometimes he would come back for me, but if he did, he would just call me a bitch the whole entire car ride home, or just multiple names that I cannot say on here. But I mean, like, at least he picked me up. In my head, I was like, oh, he's so sweet. Like, he came back for me. That was so nice of him. And I'm not even kidding. Like, literally that went through my head. I was supposed to pick him up from the bar this one night, but he wasn't answering me, which kind of made me nervous, and the bar was already closed, so I drove all the way there to see what was going on and found him on the sidewalk walking home with a girl. So I pulled over and said, guys, get in. I'll drive you home. And yes, I drove her home. And I stayed with him. I mean, I had a talk with him the next morning, but I stayed with him. Yeah. Fun fact, this was the exact same girl whose phone number he wrote in his notes where I figured out the area code, so that was even more fun for me. I was like, oh, all the pieces are coming together. So fun. And yes, you guessed it, he did this same exact thing with the same exact girl the weekend after. I did still stay, even though he did it for a second time. 2 weekends in a row. This one night, we were in like a really bad fight, so he invited a girl over 5 minutes after I left, and I only know this because his roommates told me the next day. So, isn't that so fun? Gosh, all these are so fun. Isn't this just awesome? This next one is really fun. A girl in my sorority who I wasn't that close with called me, and she said, hey, I saw your boyfriend dancing and like doing other things with this girl at a bar last night. I just want to make sure that you guys are still dating. I was like, what? I said, yep, we are still dating. Thank you for letting me know. Here's another good one that I actually found out myself from looking through his phone. He went up to a girl at a bar and told her that he wishes they never stopped talking. And I found this out because there was a text message from her on his phone that said, did you really mean everything you said last night? What did he say? What the hell did he say? Awesome. So game days at Alabama are like a really big deal, but he decided last minute that he did not want me a part of his plans anymore. But it was too late to go with my friends instead because they were already at the game and I didn't have a ticket because I was planning to hang out with him, which he just removed me from his plans. So I spent my game day going to a place called Chicken Salad Chick all by myself, and I ate inside there alone. Yep, all alone, eating lunch by myself, and no, he did not care or feel bad, but I did meet up with my friends later, so yeah. This next one I found out about after we broke up, but I had to include it. He was out at the bar with his friends and saw a girl that he used to talk to. This girl did not like him. Like, she had him blocked on everything, like every social media, but apparently seeing her at the bar made him miss her, so guess what he did? Later in the night, he walked to her apartment, knocked on her door, and begged if she would talk to him. Basically, he begged her to unblock him on everything, and she said, no, please get out of my apartment, but apparently it took forever for him to leave. So, yeah, and we were fully dating, and I had no idea until after we broke up, so awesome. A lot of the times his friends would yell at him to stop calling me names and yelling at me like the way he did, but he would just ignore them and keep doing it. So, okay, last one, best one. I don't know if I can say this one. So he would force me to wake up at 4 a.m. to go stand outside of Target with him because he always wanted these sports cards, but it was like limited to one per person. He would force me to go with him so he could get more packs of the cards. And if I didn't go with him, he would like try and break up with me, so I'd go every single time because I was scared that he was gonna do that. So I just did everything that I thought would please him, which is so sad, so sad. So for all my girlies, if you're in a relationship that is similar to any of the things that I said, that is not normal behavior, and do not stay because I wish I didn't. I am so glad that I finally got out of that, and yeah, just please make sure you're safe and don't stay. I have had multiple boyfriends in high school and in college too, so these stories could have been about any of them. I now have the best boyfriend in the whole entire world, so I am very thankful for that. Love you guys, bye!
Hi my loves, so get ready with me while I tell y'all everything my ex did to me and I still stayed. So, one thing he did was, he, it's not funny, why am I laughing? He went to the club with his phone, but transferred his location to his iPad so I couldn't see that he was at the club. And then I had to find out that he had took 2 females home with his friend. Another thing he did was, I was trying to get my phone from the car, and he had found a message from like 20 weeks of us prior of talking, and a guy set up on my story and I said thank you, and he got in his fucking car and I was like, what are you doing? Like, we're leaving. Like, why aren't, like, what are you doing? Like, he wouldn't let me in the car, and I was like, let me in the car. This motherfucker runs me over. Another thing he did was he was texting me telling me he had a headache like the whole day, and he didn't. He was with the girl at his house, and she knew that, yeah. I had his phone because he didn't let me check his phone for like a good 2 weeks. Like, I was like, why don't you let me check your phone? You always let me check your phone. So I grabbed it, and like I was in the car, and like he was gonna go around and open my door, and I locked the door like as a joke, and I was like, ha, because he was trying to open it. And then I looked to the side and his phone's there, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go through it. Like, I'm gonna go through it. Like, I'm talking to him through the window. He hits this window hard as fuck to give me his phone. I just look at him and I give it back. I open the door. Another thing he did was block me from his story so that he could post another girl. He let another girl drive his car at night while wearing the hoodie that I bought him because she was cold. Another thing is he got all my makeup that I had in his truck and he gave it to his girl best friend when we got in an argument. He told me all this, oh, if I don't answer, I'm sorry, just know I love you, this and that. So I thought he was gonna do something himself. No, the whole time after he sent that message, he left his phone at home and went to his ex's house. I forgot to say, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I forgot to do an outfit reveal or outfit of the day. Shirt from American Eagle, pants from American Eagle, shoes from like this like Instagram thing, but I didn't get them. My bae got them for me. And then jewelry, James Avery Pandora, Angelica jewelry, my grandma, Kendra Scott, Tori, and that's it. Bye, my loves.
Things my boyfriend did and I still stayed. Okay, so firstly, he cheated on me with my best friend. They basically went to a hotel and then like, you know, but they both said sorry, so I forgave them, you know. He cheated on me like 7 times. Okay, so first time he cheated on me was because he was sending dick pictures to his one girl, and then like she basically was sending the same, her whole thing, you know. They were like doing stuff like master, you know what I'm saying, they were doing that, but that was online, so I really just forgave him because, you know, people make mistakes. Now the other 5 times he cheated on me with his ex-girlfriend, they will meet up and then like he will go to the mall with her and buy her stuff. He bought her a Coach bag and stuff like that, but he said that he only did that because she was going through stuff, so, you know, I'm glad he was being helpful to her, and I forgave him because forgiveness is everything. Another thing he did, but I still stayed with him, was that he basically called my mom a bitch, and he called her a slut too. He was saying that, oh, your mom, her all wide open and shit, like, fuck you and your mom. He started cursing at my mom, saying hella shit about my mom, but I forgave him because I know people have different ways of expressing themselves, so I honestly forgive. Another thing my boyfriend did, but I'm still with him, is that, well, he basically took me on a date, and there were like these girls, and, well, I basically went to the bathroom, and he went to sit with the girls, and they were just chatting, and I guess they just started like getting drunk. The girls started dancing on him. He was just dancing, like letting them dance on him. He started touching the girls and everything, and they started like kissing, but I understand that he wasn't under the influence of alcohol, so I really just don't mind. Now another thing he did, he was texting like girls behind my back, and like he was texting his ex too, and like they would FaceTime my night. That's why he would FaceTime me, but he would lie to me saying that he was busy. And then when I called him, he was like super sorry. He started crying, and he told me that he did that because the devil got inside of his brain, like he doesn't know what happened, but now he's turning into a man of God, so I believe in that. But yeah, girls, those are things my boyfriend has done, but I forgave him. Let me know if you girls want part 2, because there's many more things. And, you know, I'm still with him because I know he's choosing his way to God. And although he cheats on me, he treats me like shit, I'm gonna still stay with him, no matter what.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys some of the things that my ex did and I still stayed. Just a little FYI, this is all for entertainment purposes, and I dated him when I was at the age of 14. My brain is a little bit better now, and he was literally a manipulative psycho, so please bear with me, please. And this is somebody that I dated when I was still living in China, so you guys are never gonna find out who it is, but if you know who it is, please. Also, this milk skin tint is very much tea. Okay, let me tell you guys my traumatic experience. Oh my god, I don't even know where to begin. When iCloud was first invented, I didn't even know that it was a thing yet. This is like more than 10 years ago. So he basically took my phone without me knowing and logged in on his own iCloud and everything. So without my knowledge, he was getting all of my text messages. He was seeing everything that I was texting, and he was looking at all the pictures that I was taking without me knowing for at least a good 2 weeks. When I found out, I literally didn't use iCloud for like more than 2 years, even after I found out about it, but I still stayed. So obviously with the iCloud, he also had my Find My iPhone location, without me knowing as well. So I was just really confused how he knew where I was for a while. I was like, how does he even know? Well, that's why. This is all happening during high school, right? It's like, it's crazy. And then this one time I went out with my friends to a party. This is drink. I just want to tell you guys how crazy this is because this is happening during high school when I was literally underage. This one time when I went out with my friends, like to some, I don't even know, to some party or something. And this man literally had one of his friends follow me and my friend's car for a whole entire night. And I didn't really know, but I kind of was like, I don't know how would you know that somebody was following you when you're 16 years old? You don't know that. And he told me like a few days later as a joke, he wanted to just prove to me how powerful he was. And I still stayed. 18th birthday. This is like around the time that we were about to break up already. It was really hard to break up with him, let me just tell you that. But on my 18th birthday, he kissed one of my friends. And he tried to kiss this other girl on my birthday. Like, what the? Obviously, why was the girl kissing him too? But like, honestly, I don't have let anything past him because he's literally a psychopath. So yeah, and I didn't like stay. I had no choice. He wouldn't let me leave him. Whenever me and him would like be having like weeks where we would be arguing and stuff, when we wouldn't be on good terms, he literally, oh my God, he invited my friends out to dinner and like went to hang out with my friends, my close friends, and trying to get them on his side and trying to portray me as a bad person to my friends so that when things happen, they could be on his side. He wouldn't let me hang out with my best friend. He just would hold me hostage and just only want to hang out with me every day after school because he loves me too much. So for the longest time, I literally couldn't even hang out with my friends because he wouldn't let me. I just let him do that to me. I really did. Oh my God, I feel so bad for myself, for my younger self. Okay, so we have this app. It's called WeChat. I don't know if you know. This is like the main communication app that Chinese people use. It's like an easier way for you to get someone's contact is through like a barcode. So like you just scan somebody's barcode and you just add it right away, right? Tell me why. Because he was like a rich kid, so he drove like a really nice car. Tell me why he put his barcode on his car and says add me. And also the amount of girls that I knew that he tried to talk to was insane. So many girls that like I was kind of even like friends with, he would try to talk to them. What in the world? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Every time I talk about it, I'm like, I can't believe this was happening. And I'm pretty sure there was times, I don't even remember, there was times that he would literally try to get other girls' information in the club in front of my face. Like when I was not looking. But the problem is, if we had some sort of agreement and you were doing that, then I don't care. He was literally, he was so obsessed with me in the most, like, if you were my friend at the time, you would know. He was so obsessed with me, like, to a point where he was being like psychotic about it. If you were this obsessed with me, why were you doing that in front of my face? Oh my God, psycho. Obviously, he had an allowance every month, but there is a limit. There was times when we were all out at dinner with him, my friends and his friends, whatever. He would use my card to pretend that he actually paid for the bill. How embarrassing. Oh my God. And I had like, mind you, this was like a relationship where like, so obviously I tried to break up with him like several times. And the first ever time I ever tried to break up with him, oh my God, Jesus Christ. You know what he did? I was like 16. He literally threatened to himself in front of my face. Like he had a knife. Can you say that? And then he was like he was just being crazy right in front of my face. And I was like, oh my God, this man is literally psycho. I can't even break up with him. I can't leave him because this is so scary. That's it for today. Enough of that. Obviously, I'm alive and well, from this relationship, and I'm very happy. Let's have the shits and giggles aside. Like, it was very hard for me to recover from this relationship. It's not hard to talk about it anymore, but it's been so long, and oh my god, like, it was so horrible. I feel so bad for my younger self. Like, I can't even believe that's what was happening in my life, and I was going through that for the longest time. You know, I'm alive and well, and if you were ever in an abusive relationship, I love you. We'll be just fine. And I just started therapy again. Everything's great. That's why, like, it's really hard for me. It was really hard for me to be in like a relationship because of him. But let me know if you guys want a part 2. Probably not. But I did this because I saw someone doing it. Like, I thought it was kind of funny. It's not funny, but you know, trying to make light of the situation because it is kind of ridiculous that men like him exist. He needs to go to therapy, actually. We don't talk anymore, but we're on good terms. Everything's fine. I don't hate him. It's been forever, and I wish him nothing but a happy life. Like, actually. So let me know what else I should talk about. I might get ready with me. I'm back, and I'm locked in. I love you guys.
Things my ex did and I still stayed. My ex asked me if I would be down to have with him and my best friend. The answer was no. My ex restricted what I could eat and told me that if I gained weight, he would break up with me. Whenever he would take me out on a date, he would make me pay half every time. And sometimes he would pay for things using his dad's credit card and still have me Venmo him half. He wouldn't give my half to his dad, though. He would just keep the money for himself. He went to prom with another girl while we were together. I ended things with him after that, but then I took him back. So, you know, that one's on me, honestly. That's my fault. Once we went to a concert together, and before the concert started, we were both starving. So we got into line at a Chick-fil-A at the concert venue, and I didn't have my wallet on me, but he had his wallet, and he ordered his food. He was like, "Are you gonna get something?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't bring my wallet. You know, could I order something and then Venmo you?" And he said no. He said, "If you weren't smart enough to bring your wallet, then I guess you won't be able to eat tonight." And he got his food and he ate it right in front of me. I called my mom, told her that I was starving and he wasn't going to pay for me to eat, even though I promised I would pay him back, like I always did. My mom was not happy about that. And so my ex said that if I was that hungry, then I would have to have my mom Venmo him, and then he would order me the food. But he needed my mom to Venmo right then and there, so he knew for a fact he would get his money. My mom Venmoed him, and then I was able to eat. But yeah, he was fully okay and content with letting me go hungry that night. My ex's own mother told me that her son takes after his father. He's mean and he'll never change, and he'll never be capable of giving me the treatment that I deserve. After hearing her say that, I don't know why I didn't just leave and end the relationship, but I still held on to hope that eventually one day he would treat me how I deserved. That never happens, though. My ex said that he didn't want to have to buy me anything for Christmas, so he downloaded Temu and sent a download Temu link to a bunch of people from his contacts list, because if 7 people signed up, then he would get 7 free gifts. And those 7 free gifts from Temu is what I got for Christmas. It wasn't anything that I wanted, it was just the options for free stuff. So, Merry Christmas! I used to have to beg my ex to please brush his teeth. He said there was no point in brushing his teeth because he's just going to eat again at some point, so why brush your teeth? There's no point. So he would just chew a lot of gum. Eventually, he grew out of that little phase, and he did start brushing his teeth, which is great, but it took way too much convincing.
Here are crazy things my exes and my ex-situationships did, and I still stayed. For starters, I would get stranded at random houses, a lot of times with a dead phone when we would get into arguments. I don't know why I ever thought that was okay after the first time, but then I also caught the guy that I was supposed to be talking to on a two-man with his friends, and he convinced me that he was just taking one for the team, but turns out about 5 months later, he got around, let's just say that. That person actually ended up giving the Christmas present that he was supposed to give me to the girl that he was talking to behind my back the whole time. But I mean, don't worry, I didn't end up staying after that one. Another pretty crazy one is that I caught pictures of my ex pretty much hooking up with a girl that he told me he didn't, and I still stayed. Mind you, he also told me not to worry about that girl, and when I found out, he tried to, and I still stayed after like all of that. And one of my situationships thought it was okay to literally pin me down in front of his friends and yell at me because I was apparently talking back. I don't know why I stayed talking to him for so long. That kid literally thought he owned me. If you're ever with someone that literally thinks they own you and they treat you like a dog, you should leave. Next crazy thing someone did was literally fly me out basically to meet their family and do a ton of fun stuff with them and then ghost me, and we're still friends. This has happened with more than one person, but toxic people always feel the need to interrogate all of your guy friends. Even if it's someone you just made eye contact with, they're gonna interrogate them about their intentions with you. Next, I basically lost all my friends because of this person, and I didn't even realize it, but once I did, I still stayed because they were literally the only person I had left. This one isn't very crazy. I feel like it's very relatable when you think you're talking to someone and you do everything that you do while you're talking and then they slap you with the friend card. Nothing wrong with that, just feels a little crazy sometimes. I'm in the state of my life where I will not take crazy things anymore, but I literally would stay with people that would call me the most worthless, degrading names ever, and the next day I would just still be there like a little puppy. I think I had a lot of self-worth issues after some of my relationships in the past, so, you know, we're healing. This other thing has happened twice with me where you think you're exclusive with someone and then you actually end up meeting the other girl out and about. Another one is that my ex would literally go and pick up his drunk ex-girlfriend and I wouldn't see an issue with that. He told me not to worry, but they did actually end up getting back together after that. Okay, well, makeup is pretty much done. Those are just a few things of the crazy things that I've been through. The craziest thing is that I really haven't talked to or dated that many people in my entire life. So I guess I just keep picking the wrong ones, but trust me, I am on my single era choosing the right one path now. So unfortunately, I've learned the hard way, but makeup is done. I'm gonna go do a slick back tutorial for the next video. So hope you guys have a great day, and hopefully you can't compare to these stories. Peace out, love you, bye.
Okay, guys, we're gonna be doing things our exes did and we still stayed. For context, these are my two exes.
This is just my last ex.
Okay, the first one is he smashed my phone because my cousin, who was a boy, called me. Okay, go.
Okay, mine is that when we started dating, he didn't tell me he had kids. I found out a month in from another girl that he had a kid, and then I found a month after that he had a second kid with a different baby mama. So
okay. He threw a controller at my head when he lost at Madden.
Okay, mine, every time he got mad or frustrated with me, he would hold his hands out like this and go, I just want to fucking choke you out. Okay, and sorry, for context, he turned out to be abusive, so that's
Mine would turn his location off every time he went to the club.
the fucking trauma. Okay. Mine went through my whole room, everything in my room, underwear drawers, everything, and found Polaroids that I gave to my ex before him and freaked out on me. So
mine would just ghost me for days because he was going through something.
Holy shit. Okay, mine didn't do anything for my birthday 2 years in a row. First year, he started a fight. Second year, he broke up with me a week before my birthday. Sorry. So, this year's gonna be better.
So, for my last one, he would make me drive 8 hours or book a flight to go see him every 2 to 3 weeks because he was in the military. And when he finally had 30-day leaves off, instead of coming to see me, he planned to go visit his ex-girlfriend that he was talking to throughout our whole relationship.
Pat on the back, pat on the back. And that's the end.
Things my ex did, but I still stayed. There were times where he smelled so bad that I had to force him to shower and brush his teeth. He would make me pay for literally everything and would ask me for money to buy me gifts. If I wanted to go over to his house, he would tell me that the only way I could be there was if I cleaned his whole house. I would literally have to sweep, mop, wash dishes, do the laundry, everything. He would threaten to break up with me if I didn't let him use my car because he didn't have one. And sometimes he would hide my car keys so that I couldn't go anywhere, which made me be late for either school or work. He was also a really bad driver, so one time when he borrowed my car, he hit a wall and then part of my bumper just came off. And I told my parents that it was me. He also forced me to stop talking to my friends, and then he would tell me to my face that they were so pretty and that he wished he could date them instead of me. He also refused to get a job, and he would wait all day outside of my job until my shift finished so that I could buy him stuff. He would also try to control what I wore and would get mad if my outfit was showing too much or if it was showing too little. He would always talk about how we should join the gym, and when we did, all he would do was either stare at other girls or talk about how much better they were than me. I'm not even kidding. There would be so many times when he would be like, go up to that girl and ask her what she does to work out so you can look like her. He would also ask me to write his essays, and when I would say no, he would say how stupid I was, and then he would talk about how he was gonna break up with me. He would always make plans with me and then would ditch me to go hang out with his friends. And the worst part about this was, let's say that we had planned to go golfing, he would ditch me and go golfing with his friends. He would also bring his dirty clothes to my house and make me do his laundry because he said that that was all I was good for. He would also constantly tell me all the things that I could do to make myself look hotter. Honestly, if any of you are dating a guy that does any of these things, you need to leave him. Like, I'm not even joking. Leave him now.